Hey guys, second video on excretion, probably the most important one, most material on it in your book and in your notes and stuff is the urinary system, the kidneys, and the nephrons, which are the little filters that are within each kidney, millions of them. We look at the urinary system, there's two kidneys, they're kind of right at the back of your body, just part of them are covered by the ribs, part are unprotected. Out of those kidneys come the ureters, all right? Those are like little tubes. Have you heard of kidney stones? They get kind of stuck in there, cause pain, all right? Normally it doesn't happen unless you get real dehydrated. Then our bladder, which fills up maybe a half a liter or so. As you get older, you got to go pee a little bit more. It tends to shrink a little bit. And then the urethra, which goes to the outside of the body, obviously a little bit different in guys and girls, the length of that tube. But you've got sort of the filtering, the collecting, and then the exiting of the urine. Now the kidney has three layers to it. The outer layer is called the cortex. The medulla look like little pyramids or little squares, and the nephrons kind of run in and out of the cortex and the medulla. And then where the urine collects, there's a sort of a little shiny area called the pelvis, and the urine collects in there, then it trickles down the urethra, down the ureter towards the bladder. Now, blood is supplied to the kidneys by the renal arteries and the renal veins, right, to keep those guys going. The kidneys are a little bit off. They're not directly side by side. They're a little bit staggered. It just has to do with the sort of body positioning and the size of the liver at the front. Now, with the nephron, these nephrons, there are millions in each kidney. Their job is to filter the blood, all right, trying to get rid of any stuff that's in the blood that we don't need, and also helps to balance our water and our salt content, all right, balances water, salts, and electrolytes. Two of the hormones, ADH, called anti-diuretic hormone. Remember, a diuretic would be something like alcohol or caffeine. It makes you dehydrated. Anti-diuretic hormone tries to do the opposite. It's the hormone which helps us to conserve water in situations where we haven't had a drink for a while. We produce a lot of ADH, and that tells the kidney to hang on to water. Don't get rid of it. Aldosterone is a hormone that helps to balance our salt. Both of these hormones act upon the kidney, and specifically the nephrons in the kidney, to make sure that we're not getting rid of something that we need at that point. Now, the nephron has kind of a funny shape to it. And again, there are millions in each kidney, so you can imagine how small they are. Little, what are called afferent arterioles come in, and they form a ball of capillaries called the glomerulus. And they're under high pressure. And all of the stuff in our blood comes out of there, except for the red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. All of the plasma and all the stuff that's in it, like food and salt and water, come into this capsule called Bowman's capsule. And it collects this. It's called a filtrate at this stage, it looks a lot like plasma. Now, this filtrate goes down three parts of the nephron. This PCT, it's called the proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal means close. It's close to the start. Then the loop of Henle kind of loops down from the cortex into the medulla, then goes back up to what's called the distal convoluted tubule, or DCT, and then into the collecting duct. And the collecting duct collects all of the urine into the pelvis, part of the kidney. Now, there are capillaries that wrap around each of these nephrons. I didn't draw them on because it looks confusing. But stuff can go from the nephron to the blood and the blood to the nephron constantly through there. So there's this balancing process to save enough water but not too much, hang on to enough salt but not too much, and if we're dehydrated or we don't have much salt, hang on to most of it. That would mean not much would get into the collecting duct, and so our urine would be very concentrated. If we've drank a lot of water, our ADH goes down, our nephrons get rid of water, fills up the collecting ducts, fills up the pelvis, and then we pee out a lot and it would be very clear. All right, lots there for you guys. Look through the text, look through those notes, and if you need help, don't be afraid to call. Take care.